Hi, I'm Peter. This is the Peter on Health channel. This video is called Christianity equals Buddhism equals the Enneagram equals the brain. The basic point I'm making in this video is that under research I've done over the last 20 years or so, maybe more, I believe that love and wisdom, which I've talked about in a couple previous videos, is at the core, or at least a subset, of each of those four topics. And so what I'm going to do in this video is explain and quickly explain where I believe love and wisdom is found in those four areas of study. And so let's start with Christianity. And the parables of Jesus. I did another video on it, I think, regarding the latecomers to the whatever. But Jesus spoke in parables, and they were recorded. And I believe he was a historical figure who spoke in parables. And if you look at his parables and you look at this page, and I'll put it in the description. And partly he was saying, like, the reason he was talking in parables is kind of like a hidden way of like explaining what you're talking about, because the Pharisees, who were his opponents, who ended up crucifying him, he criticizes them. Like he says, yeah, they're about the world, we're about love and wisdom. And in love and wisdom, there is no hierarchy of you're better than me, I'm better than him, or anything like that. And that's what Jesus was preaching: populism, love, and wisdom. But it was straight out love and wisdom. And he was, saying to his people following him, to look for love and wisdom. Buddhism was the exact opposite. Buddhism focused, instead on love and wisdom, on fear and desire. It said the same thing. It said, don't succumb to fear. Don't succumb to your desires. Addiction to pleasure is a symptom of fear. Basically, like, I want it, I want it, I want it. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, and I fear not getting it. Oh, I fear losing it. It was, Buddhism was all about, get rid of your attachments to things. Get rid of your attachments. Don't dwell in fear and desire. Walk past them into, a detached, enlightened life. And what kind of life is that? A life full of love and wisdom. I see Christianity and Buddhism as the flip side of the same coin. Christianity talked about love and wisdom. Buddhism said avoid, fear and desire. They're flip sides of the same coin. Then I got into the Enneagram. Then I got into this first, and it kind of led me that way. And if you read this book in particular, it'll show you this kind of a picture. There's 9 types, and I don't want to like focus on the 9 types, but I want to focus on the outer rim. Out here in the black is insanity, full of fear and desire. People just attached in fear and desire. That's what Buddhism said, get away from. In the middle is love and wisdom, enlightenment, self-actualization, a secular term. So Enneagram, in the theory, has both the Buddhism and the Christianity. In the middle is what Jesus was talking about, and in the border is what Buddhism was saying to avoid, and it's all in this one theory. So there you go. What I did back in 2005 is self-published this silly book. Well, all I did was read those Enneagram books and read a bunch of brain studies. And lo and behold, I think I found love and wisdom in the brain. I said that if you could map the Enneagram to the prefrontal cortex, which is right above our eyebrows, and the amygdala, which is the centers for fear and desire, like inside our temples. And you could be left dominant, right dominant, or both, left dominant, right dominant, or both. And 3 times 3 is 9, 9 types of the Enneagram. That's what I write about in this book. But here's the thing. I think a brain model for enlightenment, love, and wisdom is a very quiet amygdala that, if a dog was to run in here that was, frothing and about to bite me, I'd hope my amygdala would like fire up and then get me to move quickly. That's what it's for. It's not for a Dilbert cartoon where you're in the office and somebody snarked you and you suddenly had your amygdala fire up because no, that's the modern, bullshit of Buddhism said attachment, and Christ said, be Jesus, I'll say, what, said about love and desire. I said about love and wisdom. Love and wisdom. Be that way. Don't be like reacting to the things in the here and now of this, awful world.